It began on an ordinary Tuesday, a Tuesday like any other, with the sun spilling lazily through the gaps between the trees and the city bustling in its usual chaos. But for Adrian, it would be the day everything changed. He was sitting, as always, on the old wooden bench outside the cafe near 5th and Marlow Street, a notebook in hand, half filled with poems he'd never show anyone. He liked the spot for the shade, the soft breeze, the scent of coffee in the air. But more than anything, it was the view. Every day at exactly 5:03 p.m., she passed by. She didn't know him, not yet. But Adrian knew her. He didn't know her name, or where she came from, or what made her smile the way she did when the wind caught her hair. But each time he saw her, her eyes full of light, her walk like music playing on cobblestones, something inside him stirred. The first time he saw her, he forgot to breathe. The second time, he forgot his coffee. And by the fifth day, he forgot he ever existed before her. She was, he would later write, the kind of beautiful that made the world fall into slow motion. She didn't dress to be noticed, but he noticed everything. The loose white dress she wore on Thursdays, swaying with each step like petals in a breeze, the way her fingers absent-mindedly touched the charm bracelet on her wrist, the slight tilt of her head when she listened to music through her earbuds. She passed by. She always passed by. And Adrian, he sat there, heart pounding, 1,000 words on the tip of his tongue, and not one brave enough to come out. One day turned into 1 week, then 2, then 3. Each evening he built fantasies. He imagined bumping into her, pretending to drop his notebook so she'd help pick it up, and they'd laugh, like old friends rediscovering a memory. He imagined sitting with her at the cafe, sipping lattes and trading favorite songs, and slowly, with time, becoming the most familiar part of each other's lives. He imagined the first time he'd hold her hand, the first time she'd call him by name, the first time they'd kiss in the rain. And yet, in reality, he said nothing, because every time she passed, a storm rose in his chest. His heart raced, his palms sweated, and his mind screamed, "What if she doesn't feel the same? What if I ruin the magic just by speaking?" He feared rejection like a poet fears the final page. One evening, a storm rolled in, heavy rain, the kind that empties the streets and silences the world. Adrian sat beneath the awning of the cafe, drenched in doubt, convincing himself that maybe this was a sign to let go. But at 5:03 p.m., she came, running through the rain, barefoot, laughing, her arms spread wide like she was catching the sky itself. Her hair soaked, her dress clinging to her. She looked, God, like something out of a painting. And this time, she stopped. She looked right at him, smiled, and then walked on. That smile, it shattered him, because in it, he saw all the possibilities, all the moments they hadn't lived yet, all the conversations he'd dreamed of, all the kisses he hadn't had the courage to steal. He knew then he couldn't keep living in the world before her. He had to try. The next day he came early, heart pounding, hands trembling. He wore his best shirt, though he knew she wouldn't care. He scribbled one last poem into his notebook, folded it into his pocket, just in case the words wouldn't come. And at 5:03, she came. This time he stood up, one step, then another, and another until they were only inches apart. She noticed, paused, pulled her earbuds out, curious, those ocean-deep eyes staring right into his. "Hi," he said, voice cracking. She smiled again. "Hi. I I know this might sound crazy, but I see you pass by here every day, and he stopped, swallowed, "and I think I've fallen in love with you." Silence. A moment stretched like eternity. But then she tilted her head just a little. A soft chuckle escaped her lips. "I was wondering how long it would take you." "What?" "I noticed you on the second day," she said. "You always look like you're about to say something, but you never do. So I started waiting for it." Adrian blinked, stunned. She extended her hand. "I'm Lena." And just like that, Adrian became real again, not just a ghost watching from afar. They sat together that evening, talked for hours, about music, about childhood dreams, about books neither had finished, about fears and the people they used to be. When she laughed, he felt the world spin slower. When he spoke, she leaned in like every word mattered. And when their fingers touched, casually, shyly, it was like lightning, soft and electric. It's been 3 years now. Adrian still remembers the bench, still remembers the fear, still remembers the version of himself who thought he'd never be enough. But now every evening, at 5:03, he no longer waits for her to pass by because she's already there, beside him,